Welcome to Hawaii, Mr. Anderson. I'm Brad Sullivan, your case agent in Honolulu.
Anderson?
That's your new name, Doug Anderson, from San Francisco.
I shot a guy in Frisco once.
We better get going. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your flight back to L.A.
I'd rather have a BMW.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I can get used to this. You don't like me, do you?
I haven't given it much thought.
You're telling me it doesn't bother you, huh? Knowing what I've done? The guys I've whacked, huh?
Look, you made a deal with the feds. Now you get to live the rest of your life at the taxpayer's expense. I'm just a civil servant. It is my job to keep you alive. Here is your new ID. Driver's license, social security number, credit card, checkbook. And here is my beeper number. You got a problem? You call me. In the meantime, enjoy yourself. Oh, one more thing.
Trust. That was his mistake. I only trust what I can buy.
Wise philosophy.
$2 million is a lot of money, my friend. Nothing better go wrong.
What can go wrong in paradise? Welcome to Hawaii, Mr. Anderson.
Hi, this is Holly. I'm not here right now, so leave me a message.
Hello, Dr. Holliday. This is Captain Herzog.
Hello? Hello? Yes, Captain.
I'm sorry if I woke you, Doctor, but a corpse just washed up at Kailua Beach. How soon can you get out there?
I'm on my way.
You have reached the headquarters of Wolfe Enterprises. Mr. Wolfe is currently out of the office seeking an infusion of expansion capital. If you are interested in investing in one of our many fine products, please leave a phone number and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you're calling about an unpaid bill, well, we'd like to assure you that our accountants have finally solved the computer glitch and the checks are in the mail.
Hello.
Got a body for you, Kailua Beach.
Oh, Dave. Just once I'd like to get a phone call about somebody who's alive.
Get out there.
All right.
Hey, Doc. Kind of feels like a storm out here. What do we got?
Caucasian male, early 40s, shot once in the chest. A couple of tourists were taking a nice romantic stroll on the beach when he washed up and ruined their day.
My guess is he's been dead about 24 hours. And there were bruises on his legs, like someone had put weights on him to drag him under. And they broke free.
We know who he is?
He was nude. And identification won't be easy.
Why is that?
Somebody took the precaution of removing his fingers and his teeth.
I guess that rules out suicide, huh? Okay, Doc, what can you give me?
Well, judging the time of death was much more difficult because of the amount of time he was in the water. but my best estimate would be 1 to 2 days.
Anything that might help us identify him?
There was multiple scarring on the body, 3 previous gunshot wounds, and there was a metal plate in the upper anterior of the skull. Nowadays, neurosurgeons use plastic, so this wound was over 20 years old. After close examination of that injury, I would say it was a war wound, Vietnam, judging from his age. So, if he was in the military, we could probably track him through their records.
Anything else?
Just one thing. His toes and his feet were scraped, so he was probably dragged, and I found minute particles of green sand under his toenails.
Green sand.
The green color is caused by an accumulation of olivine formed by volcanic eruptions. Based on the currents and the amount of time your corpse was in the water, I'd say he was dumped somewhere along the windward coast. These are samples of sand from all the major beaches on the Hawaiian Islands.
Which one's this one from?
Uli, on the north shore of Oahu.
This is a pretty deserted beach, not too many visitors. But just before dawn yesterday morning, one of them remembers that a car drove out to that point. He thought it was unusual because it was a city car, not a Jeep or a truck.
It's a great place to hide a body.
Look, they dragged something down to the water.
Looks like he stopped here for a minute.
Probably dragged the body down to the surf and then swam with them until the tide took him out.
This is where they removed the teeth. We're going to need some snorkeling gear.
For what?
Well, if he dropped this one here, he probably threw the rest of them in the water. We're going to find them.
Wait, you want to go searching for white teeth on a sea bottom that's primarily covered with white coral?
Nui, we'll need an underwater metal detector. Right.
Gutierrez.
We got a problem. I came by here last night. Nobody was here. Where were you?
I took a little drive around the island.
Look, we agreed that you would stay out of sight until Kohler gave you a new face. I am risking 15 years of service for you.
You're risking a lot more than that if you think you can treat me like a prisoner.
My numbered account in Panama? There's only $500,000 in it. We agreed on $2 million.
You get the rest when the plastic surgery is finished. And I'm sure this little lifestyle is holding up.
That was not our deal.
I'm changing the deal. This way you and I have to trust each other. So, until Dr. Kohler arrives on Friday, I suggest we relax and enjoy the sun.
Aha! There's a distinctive gash across the tread here. We find these tires matching them, it's going to be easy.
That metal detector was a great idea. Looks like our John Doe spent a lot of time at the dentiste.
That's what happens when you don't brush your teeth. We should be able to reconstruct enough of his dental chart from these to make an identification. Good work.
Got a message you called, Doc. What's going on?
Called a friend of mine at the Pentagon. From the x-ray of the skull plate, he has a possible ID on our John Doe.
Great. It's good news.
He fits a description of an Anthony Michael Giannikos. He was born in 1949. He went to Vietnam from 1969 to 1971. And in 1971, he caught a piece of shrapnel in his skull, and the doctors had to put in a metal alloy plate.
Got an address on this guy? Anthony Big Tony Giannikos. Assault, manslaughter, attempted murder, assault, burglary, manslaughter. Very consistent. Looks like he was a busy boy. Suspected of being a contract killer for the Zambrano crime family.
And get this. An hour after this fax arrives, my friend gets a call from the Bureau, and they say, why are you interested? He says it was a request from Honolulu PD, and they tell him to back off. Seems we've run into some kind of federal security situation.
I'm going to call a friend of mine in D.C., find out what's going on.
Just going to tell you to mind your own business.
Brad!
I remembered you was beautiful. I just forgot how beautiful.
But what are you doing in Honolulu?
Oh, I started working here just about a week ago. What about you?
I came here to give a speech. I got involved in a case. They offered me a job, and well, who can resist paradise? Oh, I'm sorry. Mac, this is my friend, Brad Sullivan. Brad, this is Lieutenant Wolfe.
Lieutenant? As in military?
As in Honolulu PD, homicide. What line of work would you be in?
Brad's a U.S. Marshal.
Oh, so why would D.C. tell me to mind my own business?
Because you're poking into a government matter. I got a call this morning from my boss in Washington, and apparently a friend of yours has asked some questions that's making a lot of people very nervous.
We were just trying to identify a John Doe.
Look, all I can tell you about this is that you're involved in a very sensitive situation. And it concerns the U.S. government.
That's not really good enough for me. You just can't waltz in here and say federal security. We're trying to solve a murder here.
Well, you're on the wrong track. Anthony Giannakos is alive.
Well, that certainly puts things in a new light.
Giannakos is alive. Can you prove it?
I don't have to. Like I said, it's a sensitive matter.
Well, I think murder's a very sensitive matter, too. And being the detective in charge, I might just have to step on a few toes.
Well, before you do, you might want to talk to your boss.
You heard me, Mac. You're off the case. I'm giving it to Yamamoto.
Yamamoto? I don't believe this!
No yelling, okay? I've got this stomach thing. My doctor says I've got to cut down on my stress.
I am not yelling, Dave. I am just trying to understand what's going on here.
We got a request from a federal agency, and we're following through on it.
A request to pull me off my case?
A request to back off on a sensitive situation that is in no way related to this investigation.
It's not related. Then why am I being replaced?
Because I know you, Mac, and as soon as I tell you to back off, you're going to push twice as hard.
No, Dave. What you are not saying is that I am being punished for being too good at my job. Now, just say it. I am being punished, Dave. Just say it.
There goes the stomach. Be calm. Your inner self is balanced. Yes. By still waters, in a peaceful place.
Dave, what are you doing?
Meditating, Mac. My doctor said this would cut down on the stress.
My boss, the Buddhist monk.
It's amazing how much better that is. You should try this.
I much prefer being screwed up, Dave. Thanks a lot.
Please forgive me. Allow me to make it up to you. Allow me to buy you a drink, please. Please.
Absolutely.
You better understand me now, because I'm not going to go over this again. It's not how I conduct business. And those people don't know who they're dealing with. And I'm beginning to think you don't either. I can put you 6 feet under from Hawaii just as easily as if I were there. Are we understanding each other?
You better tell those escorias they better not screw with me, because I still run things. Unless they do what I say, things will happen to their families they are going to regret. I want the shipment in Miami on Friday.
Got it?
Good morning. Sleep well?
Like a lamb. I have to get to work.
Without your shoes?
Huh? I'll get them. What? Are they?
Mickey. Curiosity can be a dangerous game.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies.
Whoa! I want to talk to you.
Hi, Mr. Fong.
You rent your bonds.
Oh, Mr. Fong, I'm sure it's just a screw-up with the bank.
Second time you check bonds. You pay now or you move out.
Mr. Fong, do you realize the advantages of having a cop living on your premises?
Robbed 3 times last month.
It's a bad neighborhood, Mr. Fong. All right, okay. All right. Settle down. I think I'll be able to give you $200 now, and I'll have the rest by the end of the week. Okay, Mr. Fong?
You pay by Friday or you out.
Okay, Mr. Fong. Okay.
Do you remember those pictures we took in the photo booth in San Francisco?
Oh,
Do you remember that? I still have those pictures.
Oh, no.
It is so good to see you again.
The feeling's mutual.
Would you like to have dinner with me tonight?
I'd love to. I would have to do it early. I have an early morning meeting, so
Okay.
you could pick me up at 6.
Great.
721 Moana Road.
I'll see you tonight.
Okay. 2F, just hard to get a hold of, is an incisor. And it appears to fit in the lower right jaw in position 29. Nui, I want you to track down the dental records of Anthony Giannikos. I want you to start with the Illinois prison system and then the Chicago Dental Association.
You got it. You know what's scary? Reminds me of a guy I used to date.
Mac, I'm getting a lot of complaints about your financial problems. 2 bill collectors called me today.
I'm going to handle that, Dave. I'm going to be flush in a couple of weeks, guaranteed.
Come on, Mac. You're up to your eyeballs in debt. You got bill collectors looking for you. The department has strict regulations about an officer being in debt. You know this. You're vulnerable to charges of corruption, Mac.
Now, wait a minute, Dave. You know that's not even close to the case.
Hey,
corruption?
Mac. I know you're clean, all right. But this is how it might look. Mac, you've got to straighten out your finances. And I don't mean these get-rich-quick schemes. I'm talking about a legitimate second job. I saw this in the newspaper yesterday, and I cut it out for you, because I care about you, Mac. You might want to call them. That's legitimate.
All right, Mr. Wolfe. Now, let's make a list of your job skills.
Well, I'm good with guns. I've handled everything from a .38 to an AK-47. I've also handled explosives. I have excellent surveillance techniques. I'm an exceptional interrogator. And I make a hell of a cup of coffee. I'm a cop.
Oh, I'm afraid we don't handle security work.
That's okay. I just need something that's going to make me big money. Fast.
What about other job skills? Can you type?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I have to type up crime scene reports all the time.
Excellent. About how many words a minute?
Oh, well, 10, maybe 15 if I'm on a roll.
I see. What about computers?
I hate computers. I mean, they just drive me crazy. But I did bust up a computer scam that used hookers to steal microchips.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wolfe. I'm not sure Work Finders is exactly suited to your needs.
Ma'am, I'm a little desperate right now. I'll do just about anything that's in your file. Please.
I can't believe that you still got it. How long ago did I give that to you?
Oh, it has to be 5 years. Just before you went to Miami, you gave it to me.
Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't gone.
Well, you know, I think people always end up doing exactly what they want to do. Don't you? And you and I were both so into our careers.
Well, maybe this time, timing would be better.
Enjoy your meal.
What about now? Any great romances in your life?
No. No one.
Do me a favor. Handle table 14 for me, okay? And I'll take 2 of yours.
Okay, you can have number 7. Take that old lady at 13. She's driving me crazy.
Wait. 13, that's next to 14.
You're smarter than you look.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. May I take your order?
Everything looks so delicious. I just don't know what to pick.
Perhaps you need another minute, huh?
Excuse me, waiter? No, I've decided. I'll have the lobster.
Lobster. Excellent.
Waiter? What's that?
That is,
Waiter?
shrimp fettuccine.
I'll have that instead.
Waiter!
Very, very good.
Waiter!
Oh.
You all right?
Fred, we've got to go.
Undercover assignment, Lieutenant?
Wolfe, you're fired.
Perfect.
Ooh, nice outfit, Mac. You going for a Michael Jackson kind of look?
It's very funny, Chemo. What's the deal?
A couple of hikers stumbled on her. Now, appears to be a drug overdose, but...
But what?
Well, I only found one puncture mark. If she was a junkie, there'd be lots of tracks. And there were bruises on her arms, as if someone had gripped her tightly. My guess is somebody held her down and somebody else injected her.
Well, I don't understand. What has this got to do with our John Doe?
You tell me. I was looking the crime scene over when I noticed some tire tracks in the dirt. Looks like this girl's death and our John Doe are connected.
All right, Romeo. What do you know about this?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, this tall, dumb, and handsome routine is really starting to get old. Now, I got 2 dead bodies here, and I think you know a little bit more than you're letting on.
You're out of line, Mac.
Holly, your friend here, I do not believe, is telling the whole truth.
You know, Lieutenant, if you spend more time being a cop and less time waiting tables, you might be better at your job.
Get him out of here because I'm going to hit...
Mac. I'm sorry.
There's a dead girl on the slab in the medical examiner's office. Did you kill her?
Am I under arrest?
This isn't Bogota. You can't dump bodies all over the island.
Brad, her death was unavoidable.
I let your men take care of Giannikos' corpse, and look what happened. Now we got a homicide cop and a medical examiner on our trail.
The problem with you Americans is that you place too much value on life. In my country, when a person becomes a problem, they die. You should keep that in mind.
I'll handle it.
Like I was saying, the tires we're looking for are Eurotrack TXs. They started making them last year, and they only shipped the TXs to maybe half a dozen island dealerships, so they shouldn't be too hard to check out. The company faxed me a list this morning.
Chemo, I need to get my hands on that list.
I'm supposed to give it to Yamamoto. Captain's orders.
Come on, brah. Come on. Yamamoto's over on Maui. He's looking for a witness in another case anyway.
I guess if you happen to walk into my office and saw it lying there, well, that wouldn't be my responsibility, would it?
My man. I love you, baby.
Just got this in the mainland pouch. Dental x-rays on Anthony Giannikos, Joliet Prison, Illinois.
Great. Get the John Doe x-rays.
Hey, nice car.
Vete la fregada antes que me enoje.
Oh, no comprende, caballero. No habla español.
Excuse me, but what do you want?
How you doing? I'm Waldo Cox from Cox Realty. I'm fresh out of cards right now, but I have a Japanese client who be very interested in buying your house. I don't know if you're interested in selling, but I could get you top dollar. It is a seller's market right now. Huh?
No. Pequeña bola de humo. No te digo otra vez.
All right, well, just think about it for a while, okay? Okay, bye-bye.
Brad, what's going on?
What do you mean?
I have dental x-rays from Anthony Giannikos. They match our John Doe.
I should have known.
Known what?
That I couldn't put anything over on you.
Then it is Giannikos?
Unofficially. Yes.
Why did you lie to me?
I had to. A few months ago, Giannikos became an informant against the Zambrano crime family in Chicago. His deal was that he would provide information, but he wouldn't have to testify. Well, after the federal prosecutors were finished, he was put into witness protection and relocated here. The day after he arrived, he disappeared and washed up dead on that beach where you found him.
Who killed him?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Only a handful of people knew that he was here. It looks like one of them may have sold him.
But why didn't you want his body identified?
Well, because we were using his information to force other members of the Zambrano organization to testify. But if they find out he's dead, it could scare them off.
I can't suppress identification of a corpse.
I'm not asking you to. But if you could delay it.
Well, I suppose my report could get misplaced for a day or two, but that's the best I can do.
I appreciate it. Even a few days would be big help.
Oh, I gotta get back.
Closer look at those tires. I can't get a court order because I don't have a probable cause. Anyway, Herzog would kill me.
What do you think he'd do to me?
Nothing if you don't tell him. Now hurry up. These guys are going to come for their car.
We got a bit of a problem here, Mac.
What?
He's on Euro tracks.
Sure they are. Oh, no. They switched them. They must have known what I was doing. All right, sweep the interior prints. Any you find, you run them to the FBI. Okay, partner?
Her name is Mickey Kilani, and according to one of her friends, she was here last night.
Yeah, she showed up around 9, but I don't know what time she left.
Was she with anybody?
Oh, she danced with a couple guys. I don't remember who. And, yeah, this one guy bought her a drink.
Who was the guy, you know?
No, it was on Latin. We've never seen him before.
Well, what did he look like? Can you describe him?
Oh, maybe about 40, well-dressed.
Yeah, but how did you know he was Latin?
The dude had an accent like Ricky Ricardo.
Thanks, Cono. What's wrong?
When you asked me if I was involved with anyone, there was someone. He died.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I'm ready to get involved again.
Look, Holly, I don't know who this guy was or what you felt for him. I only know how I feel. A long time ago, we had something that was great. But our timing was off. I hate to lose it for the same reason again. I better get going.
Taking some pretty long lunches these days, Doc.
Well, for a nice long walk with a friend.
Somebody I know?
Do we have a problem?
I found that car with the gash in the treads. It was a Mercedes. Registered to a Doug Anderson. Kind of a funny name for a guy who sounds like Juan Valdez, don't you think?
Mac, I have a lot to do here.
Yeah. So I get the car towed to the police impound so that Kimu can have a look at it. Funny thing happened. We get the car there, but the tires had been changed. How do you figure that happened?
I have no idea, but I assume you're going to tell me.
Well, I did some checking around and found a tire store that changed a set of tires on a Mercedes today. But something was weird. The guy paid in cash, took the tires with him. They were a set of Euro-tread TXs. Practically brand new.
Mac, what does this have to do with anything?
Well, the customer, apparently, he had no hint of an accent. In fact, he was tall, good-looking, and I think they said he was dirty blonde.
What, are you saying it was Brad? It could have been 100 other people. Do you have any idea how many Hollies on this island would fit that description?
Point well taken, Doc. While Kimo was going through the interior of the car, he came across some hair samples on the carpet. Now, most of them were dark, but, well, he also found these.
Blonde hair, so what?
I think your feelings are clouding your judgment.
Brad Sullivan is one of the most honest, decent men I know.
Of course he is. Sometimes the truth is difficult for us to hear. But it's still the truth, huh? Wolf.
Hey, Mac.
How's it?
Well, at the moment, not great. What's going on?
Well, maybe I can cheer you up. I got a match on a couple prints from that Mercedes.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You're not going to believe this. One of them belongs to Ramon Gutierrez.
The Colombian drug lord? You gotta be kidding.
You believe this? We got the whole Justice Department trying to find him in Colombia. And he's right here.
Now, what about the other one?
U.S. Marshal Bradley Sullivan. I don't get it. What's Sullivan got to do with Ramon Gutierrez?
I don't know. Unless... Sullivan's U.S. Marshal, right?
Right.
So what's a U.S. Marshal doing in Hawaii?
Witness protection?
Exactly. Anthony Giannakos. I mean, that's why we set off all those alarms in D.C. when we started checking him out.
Okay, but where does Gutierrez come into it?
But don't you get it? Giannakos is dead. And Gutierrez has taken his place. It's the perfect setup. Hide the most wanted criminal in the world inside the witness protection program.
But that would mean Sullivan's dirty.
Come on, Kimo. Wake up. Gutierrez has millions. Back in Colombia, he bought off half the criminal justice system. Buying off one U.S. Marshal would not be that difficult. We gotta talk.
In the OR.
You don't see it, huh? He's lying about Giannakos, about everything.
You don't know that.
Then how do you explain his connection to Gutierrez?
Look, maybe it's an undercover operation. Maybe they're setting Gutierrez up for some kind of sting.
I don't buy it. Your friend Sullivan is filthy. He's dirty.
What is it with you? You've hated him ever since you walked in here. Why?
Why? Because I've been a cop long enough to know when something stinks. And this is middle of August, high noon, 3-day-old asphalt-baked roadkill stinks.
You know what? You got a problem.
I do have a problem. And it happens to be 2 unsolved murders, and your boyfriend, Mr. Loverboy, is involved. But let me tell you something. I'm going to go pick him up for questioning. And I'm also going to pick up Gutierrez as well. Thanks very much.
Wait a minute. You could be ruining an undercover operation, a federal operation. You could be putting people's lives in jeopardy. Just let me talk to him first. Please.
Sorry I took so long. Your call got me in the middle of doing these reports for Washington. I always seem to be behind in my paperwork. So, what was so important you wanted to meet?
I know about Ramon Gutierrez. I know about the house on the North Shore, and I know you changed the tires.
Who else knows?
Mac, but he hasn't told anyone else yet. I wanted to talk to you first. I want to believe that you haven't done anything illegal. Have you?
No, of course not.
Then what's going on?
Holly, I thought you trusted me.
I want to believe you. But unless you tell me the truth, Mac and I are going to the State Attorney General.
All right. There's somebody I want you to meet.
Who are we going to see?
My boss, Tom Miller.
He flew in this morning from Washington.
He's here to supervise the operation.
What operation?
We convinced Ramon Gutierrez that I could be bought and could provide him with a place to hide from the U.S. government.
Hawaii.
We faked Gianakos' death to convince Gutierrez that I was for real. Then we moved Gianakos to another safe house. The deal was that Gutierrez would pay me $2 million for a place to hide, while he was waiting for a plastic surgeon to give him a new face. Well, once he was there, we'd bleed him for information. Tap his phones, bug his house. And once we got all the details of his operation, then we would move in and arrest him.
And it was working perfectly.
Until Gianakos was killed.
What happened?
We're not sure. That's why I had to keep this a secret, Holly. On the one hand, we got one of the most powerful criminals in the world right where we want him. And on the other, we've got a dead protected witness and the chance that there's somebody dirty in the system.
What's wrong? What are you doing?
Hey! Buddy, let me get through!
Just being careful.
Dave! He cut into oncoming traffic and I lost him.
All right, Mac, you better put an all points out on his car. We're gonna move in and take Gutierrez. All units, move in on suspect's house.
Damn it! Oh, I think we told him everything we wanted him to hear. Get behind the wheel. Come on, move. Drive. Carefully.
Wolf. Mac. Gutierrez and his goon are dead. It looks like Sullivan's cleaning house.
Yeah, well, we got bigger problems here, Chief. Holly's wire just cut out.
Now, if he tries to leave the islands, he could use her as a hostage.
I'm on my way to the airport.
Everything you told me was a lie. You're helping a known criminal to escape. You can't justify that.
The only place he's escaping to was the morgue. When it came down to it, I just couldn't let him go. This morning, I forced him to transfer the rest of the money he owed me into a numbered account. And then I killed him. Come on, Holly. He deserved to die.
Oh, well. I guess you didn't do anything wrong then.
I killed the leader of a drug empire and a hitman for the mob. And I get a little bonus for services rendered. Who gets hurt?
What about me?
Get out of the car.
I've got us a clearance. We've got to go now.
Okay. Start her up.
If you're going to to kill me, you better do it now, because I'm not getting on that plane.
$2 million, Holly. For that kind of money, we could have a hell of a life.
Yeah, we could. Just one problem. I don't think I could live this life.
Get on the damn plane, Holly. Now.
You gonna kill me, Brad?
And guess our timing's off again.
Let's move it.
Yeah, this is Lieutenant Wolfe, Honolulu Homicide. I need a priority patch through to Hickam Air Force Base. They figure he had an atoll picked out somewhere in the Pacific. A couple of F-16s went up to try and encourage him to turn back. They'll be landing at Hickam in about 15 minutes.
I will be.
Coming up, get the real story and the intimate details when Barbara Walters has a heart-to-heart talk with Cher. She goes behind the scenes into the hearts and lives of her celebrity guests. It's Barbara Walters, Interviews of a Lifetime, next, only on Lifetime.
Iaoi cross the sea. Now we love the Iaoi, come with me.